Hello, before I start any big tutorials, I am going to show you how to make stuff to look after these because these are very essential. Some thread, needles and foil. Foil only if you decide to follow my Fimo clay tutorials. Yeah, I'm going to make one of these. This pretty much stores all three of them in there with some extra room as well. What you'll need to make this is a needle. The needle I choose always is, it's not got that big of a hole as you can try and see. You can get many different sizes, but I wouldn't go for ones with such big holes to thread through because then they're more blunt at the bottom. So I choose one with a small hole like that. You need some white thread and you'll need a square piece of fabric. Mine is a handkerchief from here, which if you want to use the same one, I did not make this embroidery, it was already on there, so I take no credit for that. Now, first thing you have to do is fold your fabric or handkerchief in half, making sure any embroidery that you decide to do is on the outside. I would recommend you do this first, the embroidery, before actually sewing it, because then it will come up with a better result and it won't look messy at the back, it will just look like this. But make sure your embroidery isn't too big, because the simpler the neater it looks. Once you've done that simple step of folding it, what you have to do is you have to thread your needle and sew across here, here and here, making sure you get both layers. This makes the pouch stronger. As you can see, it's got 2 layers here, so it's stronger to hold your equipment in. And yeah, I'm not going to actually film myself sewing because I think it's a bit of a waste of time, but you just do a normal straight stitch. I will show some of what I sew, but not the whole thing, as I am also holding the camera, so it would be a bit hard to do. Okay, I'm not done yet, but I'm just showing you the stitch. It's just a normal straight stitch, but I don't really think any stitch matters. You can do the blanket stitch if you prefer. Yeah. So once you've sewed along here, here, the top I mean, and here, what you do is you have to fold it in half again to make a smaller square than before. Now this time you have to keep this on the inside, so you fold over like so. Now that you've done that, you will need to choose which side you want to be the top. I would choose the side where the embroidery is facing up, so this will be the top, meaning you don't sew that, but you sew everywhere else. You can do a blanket stitch or straight stitch or any other stitch which you think will look neatest. If you want to do another way, you can make this face outside and you can do a blanket stitch. But I'm just going to do a straight stitch because once you're done, you flip it inside out and you can't see many of the stitches, which is why I do it inside out. So I'm going to start sewing now. I have finished my sewing around the edges, but I would actually recommend now, after my second try, you do the blanket stitch, the one that goes around the edge like this, because it will keep it stronger, and mine has broken, as you can see. But anyway, I will still continue with my tutorial on how to make a little place to store your equipment. Yeah, you won't need to sew anymore unless you want to do a seam at the top or add a button on or something, but that's your choice. I'm just going to put this down. What you do is you flip it inside out. If you've done the straight stitch, if you've done the blanket stitch, you don't need to do anything. It should be done, but the problem with the blanket stitch is you can see most of the stitches, whereas with the straight stitch, if you flip it inside out, you don't actually see a lot of them. See, it's not perfect. See, my other one looks, well, the stitches came out better and it's a nicer shape, but you can see that you don't actually see a lot of the stitches. They are hidden inside of the handkerchief pouch, and it does fit everything inside it. I will try and show you, but since this is with one hand, it may take a while. I am sorry for flipping the camera. I tend to do that. I've tried to film this like 3 times already and I keep on turning the camera. I'm really sorry about that. I hope you can still, you are still able to see it, but since this is only explaining, see, you've got a bit of extra space. I don't know what you would use that space for. Maybe some beads if you want to like customize yours. On the front you could like add a button here, or if you want you could do this. You could like fold the front half over a bit and then make a flap to make sure it stays inside and doesn't fall out. This is my other one, the first one I showed you. I would say this one looks nicer, but this one is stronger. If you're only watching me for stuff to do with clay or art, or you just don't like sewing in general and you've just stumbled across this video, you might want to make a little box. I'm going to put a template on a website and link it in the description if you are interested in that instead. You can also use it for your sewing stuff if you don't want to actually use one of these, as a box will have a flap. If you do make one of these and you're inspired from this, please comment below and I promise I will favourite it, comment on it, like it, because I will be really happy if someone does that. It will really make my day. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry, this is my first tutorial by the way, so it may not be perfect. Look, I'm even next to my computer. Yeah, I'm a bit bad at this YouTube thing, but I hope my tutorial was okay. I hope you all understood it. If you want me to delete it, edit something about it, I can try and do that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it very, very much.